Hi, I'm Mario Evon, and you're listening to Talk Truth, a weekly edutainment podcast discussing the things that most people are afraid to, but from a Jamaican perspective. From relationships, sex and sexuality, to the ins and outs of entrepreneurship, in this space we speak about almost anything with the intention to inspire, educate, entertain, and create a fair and balanced space where your truth shall become your power and set you free. Welcome to Talk Truth! Yo, my family, wagwan people. It's episode number 30. Can you believe that? 30. And welcome to another Sunday. My Talk Truthers, as you know you are now. Today we're going to have an interesting episode, and a lot of you may very well be at home because of COVID-19. So I'm sure you'll listen to this episode, and it is one about fatphobia, something that I've never experienced, but my guest has had a lot of experience with. He's a social media executive, and he goes by the name Andrew Brown, and he's a cool cat, and he speaks a bit about just being fat for all of his life, growing up in Jamaica, and all of the different things that people feel entitled to do because you are overweight and they feel like they have some right to fix your situation. It's an interesting episode. It's an interesting perspective. And on that same note, I would love to plug my friend's podcast. That's Michael Sean Harris. He now has a podcast, guys. Support him. It's called Mike's Moment of. And Courtney, a beautiful singer, Mike, also a singer, and myself, also a singer and a doctor, we had a conversation. He titled it Mike's Moment of Body Talk. And it's in the same vein as this episode. And I am going to put the link to his episode in the show notes so that when you listen to this episode, you can definitely listen to that episode if fatphobia and body image is something that you have suffered with. And we don't only come from the perspective of being bigger, but we speak a little bit about being on the other side of the spectrum as well too, especially in a Caribbean context. So go check that out. I'm going to jump straight into this episode, so do enjoy, and see you on the other side. Blessed love.
Good to go?
Yeah, you can hear yourself, yeah?
Yes, I am.
Is it scary? Is it weird?
It is weird.
Is that like a weird Yeah, welcome to this world of podcasting. All right, so guys, welcome to another episode of, Talk Truth. And guess what? I have another wonderful guest as usual. And I am going to call him by his social media name, which I always remember him by, which is Drewpuddy, right?
Yes.
I pronounced it right. But you are Andrew Brown?
Yes.
All right, and I've known Andrew for a couple of years, and we had a little conversation one day, and he wanted to talk about this topic, and I thought it was an awesome topic to tackle as well. And the topic is fatphobia.
That's right.
Andrew, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
Who is Andrew? Andrew is a regional social media executive for a telco. I am kind of a shy person, music lover. So I use social media, but I am a nobody, and I love it that way.
Oh, so you kind of hide out in the trenches?
In the trenches, yes.
That's kind of smart. Had I not chosen to do music, I would have reverted to the trenches. Because trust me, once you're out there, you're out there.
Yeah, but that's especially why I love Twitter. I get this sense of anonymity on Twitter. I tweet my thoughts, my ideas, and if you're not a popular person on Twitter, it
kind of just disappears.
Disappears into the abyss.
Is it so did I just give away your social media handle so you can't hide anymore?
Oh, I mean, it is what it is.
God, now them going to know who you are. All right, we're going to tackle this a certain way. Let me define what I'm finding a definition of fatphobia.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few on Google, and I want you to alter it in any way that you feel is more accurate to you. All right, fatphobia, the noun, is a fear and dislike of obese people and or obesity. And it says fear or obsessive avoidance of consuming fat. Wow, so that's like two things combined.
Mm-hmm.
fear and dislike of obese people and or obesity. How you feel about it?
That's a perfect definition. And I mean, even before I came here, I was talking to two friends actually, and I was, I told them I'm gonna discuss fatphobia, and everybody was like, "What's that?" And I'm like, I mean, sometimes people really act as if they hate fat people,
right?
And they were like, "Really?" And I'm like, "What do you mean by really?" Like, I experience this every day. So when people act like they don't know it exists,
you find it a little weird.
Weird. I'm like.
And do you feel like they truly don't appreciate that it exists, or you think they're really just oblivious for real, or you think they're being cute about it?
I think they must be being cute about it. I don't know. It cannot be that you cannot see it. I just.
Well, I will be honest with you. I know that I know fatphobia exists. I know it's real. No, I do, and I mean, especially as a doctor as well too. I think even within the medical fraternity, sometimes there is discrimination against fat people.
There is.
So I know it's real. So
and I've literally given doctors attitudes before already about that, because sometimes I feel I use it as an scapegoat for like, you come in, something wrong with you, you need to lose weight.
Right. It's like, always like the first thing.
Yeah. I've been tested for diabetes like every time I go to a doctor, I'm tested for diabetes.
Right, just because.
And I'm like, I have a flu. What diabetes? I mean.
All right, Drew, let us take it back a bit, because we jumped right to some of the stuff that we do want to get to. But tell me about you as a child. And all right, so number one, do you identify as fat?
Most def.
Yeah. Do you find other terms for it? Do you euphemize it? Do you try and make it anything gentler for yourself, or you just say you're fat?
I just say fat. It's not something I'm ashamed of. I've always been fat. So, I mean, I guess, and I grew up in a family with a lot of fat people, so I guess you just get to a point where you learn to love yourself and accept it.
Right.
So it's not a big issue for me. So I'm fat. I will post that I'm a fat fly nigger. So,
but at least you accept that you fly, right? Which is good. All right, so as long as you've known yourself, you've been fat.
Yes.
And tell me about that journey in Jamaica as a child growing up until now. In a summary, I guess.
In a summary,
I know you can't probably summarize that. It's many years.
It's interesting. It's been rough. Even though as an adult, still learning to, it's kind of a thing where I find that people literally don't want me to accept myself as this.
Right.
So they don't appreciate it if you're comfortable with yourself.
Right.
So I kind of, I've always categorized it as there's a good fat and a bad fat people, The bad fat ones are the ones who are like, yeah, I'm a fat, I'm a good. I'm a look good.
Right.
Like a Lizzo. People
right.
hate that.
Right.
So that's always been my childhood.
But
I remember
the good fat and the bad fat is how you think the outsider looks at
yes.
fat people.
So the ones who don't like themselves and they're working on it and they don't accept it and
but these are other fat people.
Yeah, people in society are good with those ones,
Right.
You don't accept it. You're working on it.
They like that.
Yeah.
But once you're fat and
when
you're
you
good
step
with
out
it,
and you say, yo,
it's a problem.
I look good.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Me look nice.
Yeah.
No.
Them don't like that.
Them don't like that. Because
in their minds, fat is tied to being unhealthy.
Yes.
And if you're fat and unhealthy and comfortable with it, then this is a problem.
Yeah,
wow.
Not right. I remember, growing up, even the mailman. I remember one day he stopped me and he asked me if I had diabetes.
Yeah.
And he asked me if I had a heart condition. And I'm like, what?
And it's funny because for the people who are not Jamaican, they may not understand. I said that we have a very involved culture.
Oh, yeah.
And we are the type of people who have no fear about calling something out. And they don't think it's a problem because we don't have that kind of care with emotions and we're very to the point.
Strangers will tell me what to order on a menu. They're like, you sure?
Does that still happen now?
What? Yeah. Well, not so much right now because most of the time I don't have the most welcoming face.
Right. So you have a resting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I don't really take well to strangers a lot. So
they're not messing with you anyway.
No.
Worse that you look like you could sack them.
Yeah, so not so much now.
Right.
Women will. Because I guess women feel I won't be aggressive towards them if they say maybe you shouldn't order the steak, maybe a salad. I mean, oh, you can order a big deal.
All right. Well, since we're here, let's just rake through all of the stereotypes and what you've gone through. So you said the first one, which was going to doctors and doctors assuming that you have a chronic illness. As a doctor, I have two perspectives. I believe it's insensitive to do so. And the only way you can know if somebody has something is if you check them and if they have an indication that they may have it. But we also know medically, studies have shown that persons who are obese and overweight are at a greater risk of cardiovascular disease and probably have a higher probability of having these things. So do you think it's unfair?
So, all right, I don't think it's unfair, but my thing is they use it as a crutch to not do their work sometimes. That's my personal... So
Right.
I remember from my own personal issue, I've for years had issue with pain, especially in my back and stuff, and no one has ever really did any proper tests to be like,
to see
what's
if
happening.
it's something else, right?
I've been laid up at the hospital on Valium, and then I'm sent home.
With the assumption that
It's a fact.
It's the fact.
And then I remember the doctor I'm seeing now was the first, and this is last year.
Yeah.
Someone finally said, you have osteoarthritis, and that is not from fat.
Right. You may have just had osteoarthritis that developed, right?
And I'm like, so for the first time, I am not constantly in pain.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I'm years of getting pain meds and being told to lose weight.
You are absolutely right. And I mean, some of the things that I'm going to say now are not because I do them, but because I've been doing medicine for a while. And I know that because some patients are overweight, some doctors don't examine them as thoroughly. There are a lot of things that happen because of it. All right, so the medical one is real, and I'm sure people can confer. So people ordering or suggesting what you eat in a line.
At work. It's something that I've always had to deal with my entire life.
How have you not become, or were you at a point, hyper defensive?
I really, it's not a big issue for me. I personally, I don't know what happened in my life to just make me not care much about what people think.
Right. How do you cope with it?
So I'm good.
Yeah.
I laugh it off or I don't answer.
No, because I hate unsolicited advice. And I think I went from a space of being very reactive to it. But now I'm more mature. So I'm like you. I kind of just either just don't respond, or if I choose it not valuable, I just can't really move on.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a lot of things. People, like, one thing I've realized that people have come to notice with me is that I won't react to any of your opinions.
Right.
And I realize that most people, that's all they really want,
They want a reaction.
Even if it doesn't have to do with my fat, any other thing, they just really want you to react. And I've realized that ignoring people,
It's powerful,
They just stop.
Because they don't really know what you're thinking. And when people don't know what you're thinking, they have to deal with their own thoughts.
And I'm like, okay.
What are some of the other experiences you've had that stand out for you?
I mean, I will share my embarrassing story, but I remember there was someone once that I really liked. And this has happened to me more than once, but I remember that particular one was the one that kind of crushed me, and I'd kind of taken a step back from, like, approaching people.
Right.
But I was told essentially, oh my God, you're such a great guy. You're such a nice person to be around. You're so friendly. You're so intelligent. You're like the perfect person, but I can't date somebody fat.
Straight up.
And I mean, I appreciated the honesty, but it still hurt.
Hurt like of course it hurt.
But yeah.
It's like a double-edged sword. Yeah, it's hurt. It's not cool to hear that, especially if you like the person and then. But I do also appreciate your being honest. But what I think has come out in everything you've said so far, though, it's not necessarily the what, it's the how. And it's the same thing with the doctors too, is how they deliver this information. How do they get to this point? Yeah.
And I mean, so so even as I said, on my way here, I was talking to two friends about it, and I'm saying I don't understand how people can say subtly how that the things that they say can hurt or offend people.
Yeah.
It is even going to the gym.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, you'd think that you'd be supportive of a fat person going to the gym, right? Because this is what you want.
Work on it, right?
This is what society wants. They want you to go to the gym and work out and lose the weight. But then you're going to stare at me at the treadmill.
Right.
You're going to try and instruct me on, oh no, use this machine. Yeah, man, you've used this.
Well, it goes on both ends, like, as a guy that has generally been slim, so when you go to the gym and you're not a bodybuilder or don't appear to be one, people will want to fix you and train you. Mm-hmm. So you get trained on either end of the spectrum if you're the little guy or you're the big guy. And then if you're in the middle and you actually have a really good physique, whether you lifted weights to get it or you just did it by sports, people want to work out with you. They want to train with you. So it's very interesting, the psyche of it all.
And then I'm saying, all right, so then the next point I brought across to them was that, so I work in marketing. Mm-hmm. And you see all the ads, you see the billboards. How many fat people are on any of those?
Right. So now you're talking about representation, or like you're not people even a person, you don't exist, yeah.
That's not hot. That's not sexy. People don't want to see it. Even if I don't know, but it is what it is. And then I even find fatphobia itself, that phenomenon, even has a subtle hint of misogyny in it, because the whole marketing towards people to lose weight is very much directed at women.
Yes.
Because I've found that women, like older women, so late 30s up, are a little bit more open to somebody overweight.
Right.
The younger, don't really, them on a six pack or the slim guy.
And when you say open, like in a dating space,
yes,
right?
And then it's the same. So even with men just seeing you around in generally, like them just feel like them. I forget your opinion, right. Like bigs,
Bigs.
If they see you with an attractive woman,
right? They step in.
Like, no, yeah, at that your date. Sometimes you don't even know what's the situation, and like you could just be walking with a friend. You
just triggered the episode, which you may have listened to, that Michael Sean Harris did on his podcast, Mike's Moment of, and we spoke about body image, and he was saying the same thing, that a bus was passing and somebody shout out to the girl to say, like, pretty much them could have dated the conductor instead of him, but they didn't know anything about their relationship, nothing.
So I'm like, so you're telling me that you being slim automatically makes you a better catch than me?
Yeah.
You probably can't read above a certain grade level. Probably not a university graduate. You probably don't do a good job, but all you need to do is be slim.
Yeah.
She don't need a house to live in or nothing.
No support. All right, let me dig a little deeper on you. And if, again, anywhere I go, you can decide whether you're okay with it. So in the journey of being overweight, as long as you've known yourself, had you ever done diets or gotten a trainer or became fixated with trying to look like everybody else?
So in university, I decided I'm going to do the Atkins diet.
Yes.
And that ended in insomnia.
Oh, the Atkins one go again where you eat anything?
That's a low carb diet.
Low carb, right.
And I don't know what happened, but
make you sleep.
I could not.
Oh, you stayed awake, sorry, insomnia.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Like it was bad. Like I went 2 days.
So you never really...
And I couldn't figure out what it was, and then I think it was a doctor who told me to ease off the diet, and I realized...
You started to sleep again.
Yeah. But I've tried pills before.
Yeah.
Somebody bought the pills and gave it to me.
Wow, like a gift.
Like a gift.
Like, here, try this.
Like, oh my God. I went into the store and this fit you.
It's like them buy a new shirt.
Right?
And you should have been happy.
This, like, me just satisfy you.
Did you smile when you received it?
I smiled and I tried it. I'm like, okay. I mean, it's coming from a good place. So some people I know they're not trying to be mean.
Are good, right?
So if it's someone I know that is not trying to be mean, it was somebody older, and I know they were just looking out for my best interest. They also work in the medical field,
right?
So I said, okay, let me try it. Didn't help. When I was younger, my parents made me say, I think it was a nutritionist, and I lost no weight.
No weight at all.
The fat stubborn.
What is your current position on it? Are you fine where you are? Do you feel like you still should lose for health purposes or for aesthetic? What's your current position?
My current position is I do intend to lose weight,
Mm-hmm.
and only because of the osteoarthritis.
Right.
Because I know getting older it will pose an issue.
Right.
So right now it's not an issue, but I know growing older it will be. So I am looking into it.
Right. So it sounds like you're personally comfortable, but you are willing to lose weight for
Yes.
health benefits.
Yes.
For the benefits.
So that's where I'm at right now. I mean, all my friends they try me with the gym thing. I don't know why I don't like the gym. I try. I've been a couple times. I remember I paid. I remember when that gym in Ligani opened.
Mm-hmm.
I paid for I think a year or 6 months, and I went 4 times.
Yeah.
It's just
Not something you enjoy
not
doing.
my thing. I mean, when work is finished for me, I just want to go home. I don't even. My friends even cuss me about partying and stuff. When work is done, I want to go home. And in the morning, I am not a wake up very early person, so that's not gonna work.
Regarding stereotypes, do you feel like any of the stereotypes are true to you specifically as an individual? So, some stereotypes about people are false, completely false. But in other words, so would you say that you think maybe you eat more than the average person, or you eat too much Burger King, or any of those things you think are true to you, or not really?
None. The only thing I will say, the only stereotype maybe they'll probably say lazy. I mean, it's not lazy, it's just I don't want to go to the gym.
But
otherwise, which is bad, because my doctor has spoken to me about this, I will eat one, maximum twice a day.
Yeah.
They say that's not healthy, but
No.
it's just that corporate life that I don't eat breakfast. I wake up in time to get to work.
Mm-hmm.
I have lunch, and I'll have something in the evening.
So it's more work related.
But I'm telling you, I remember telling an intern this. I said, "You're looking at me like this now. I was not this big when I got this job.
Right.
At this job will
We'll
ruin
make you
you."
gain weight, right?
So I said, from now, just try and gain that habit of going to the gym or something, because coming and sitting at a desk, you don't even know when you're packing on the extra pounds.
But you've pretty much moved the same way anybody would move. Just that you're moving from X point to Y, whereas they may be moving from another X to another Y, right?
So it's rough, but yeah, and I joke about it. I mean, I'm dead serious though. I tell my friends, I'm like, yo, I'm going to go to Dr. Dawson now, because
That was my next question for
eventually,
you. Right. Would you consider doing a surgical procedure for the weight loss?
most definitely, I'm not embarrassed about that.
Yeah.
I am not. And I joke about it all the while, and people think I'm joking, but I am dead serious.
What is the surgical breaking point, or meaning, say you have the money to do the procedure.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it now would be tied more to, I'm just tired of being fat. What are the different things that you see in the future? So health benefits, one. You just want to see Drew in a new body, like.
Yeah.
What are some of the thoughts you have?
I'm like, wait. I tell people, I'm like, if you have money and there is a way to do this, why not?
Why not, right? God, they so hard.
I tell people all the time, I don't look at cosmetic surgery in a bad way.
Right.
I'm telling you, I tell them, once my name is on the title for the house, y'all be prepared.
Back in the day, because you sound very comfortable now. Was there ever a time when you were really sad and really depressed, and like people used to tease you and it was rough? Tell me a little bit about that side.
My life straight up until high school was that life.
Yeah.
That life of not wanting to really take pictures, not wanting to go out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't date.
Mm-hmm.
I just not wanting to be seen.
Yeah, you just...
That was me straight up to high school.
You take away yourself.
Yeah.
Any way possible.
I used to hang out in the library.
Yeah. And it was very intentional.
It was, yeah.
You were avoiding the world.
Yeah.
What happened? At what age that
changed?
That switched, and why?
I went to university and I moved on to Hall.
Yeah.
I lived on Rex.
Okay.
I made some friends. and somehow they looked at me and they were like, "You're fucking awesome." Sorry for
Right.
the
No,
words.
that's all right.
But they were just like, "You're awesome," and I'm like, "You're right." And they just kept pulling, and
They validated you.
Andrew just popped out, and I'm like, "Okay, I can do this.
Right.
I can do this. I can go to the drink cups at Taylor Hall. Okay, we can go to Quad. Yeah, some young people listening to this might not know what that is.
Right. People, Quad used to be on Northside Boulevard, somewhere down there, yeah.
Right?
The side
And
road. Mm-hmm.
So Universe was really, you is really your place to shine, young people, shine.
So you pretty much kind of found yourself at that time in terms of your friends made it really reminded that you were wonderful as you are.
Yes.
And then you just changed.
I had a circle of supportive people, and I just ran with it. I just ran with it, and I just became very comfortable and very happy with me. And it was always in there, and they just pulled it out.
Yeah.
And grateful for that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Fatphobia as a definition is interesting because you would imagine that it is other people being afraid of fat, but you could be afraid of yourself too, eh? Maybe not you, but when I thought about it as like fear of fat could be actually your own fat phobia.
But can I tell you that I know fat people who don't like fat people?
That's
I'm not making that
That's
up.
where I wanted to take me now.
I wish I could call a friend.
I know. Can we call a friend?
I know fat people who don't like fat people.
How does that pan out for you though? And I'm talking now from an attraction perspective. In your mind, are you attracted to someone who is not fat, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
So for you,
me it doesn't matter.
Right.
No.
So you could date a fat person or a slim person. Can you date a skinny person?
So interestingly, maybe
you
I
may
have
skinny phobia.
But define skinny.
Yes, this is interesting. It's funny as we talk. It crossed my mind that maybe there are fat people who really think, no, so that person is too skinny for me because me and them couldn't work. You feel like someone really skinny, you probably wouldn't. Maybe not.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you why, but I figure
I don't know. It's someone recently brought that to my attention. Honestly, because I've generally always been the person. People ask me, Andrew, because I'm single. People like, Andrew, what's your type? And I'm like, I don't have any type. And then they point, and I'm like,
no.
I just think 30. Being 30 at 100 pounds is kind of weird. So just like how some people might say 30 at 300 is kind of weird, and that is fine.
Well,
but the difference is, I don't say they are not attractive. I don't try to tell them to gain weight. And I could possibly date that person if I get to know them.
Right, but you're not trying to fix them.
I wouldn't try to fix anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It probably won't be my first pick. But, because, you have people, I know you know those people, that for some reason they can wear a size 0. At our age, in your 30s.
Skinny phobia is what's happening right now.
You know where you get... when you grow up in age, you start packing on a little.
Drew, a skinny phobia. All right, well, that's interesting.
All right, so one point I wanted to make was that some people make it seem the only way you can find love as a fat person is if you date someone with a fetish.
Yeah, I've been hearing about this fetishizing of fat people.
Yeah, you do have people who they just want someone big.
Yeah.
I remember watching a documentary once and I was shocked.
Yeah.
The guy kept feeding her. He told her to stop working and...
Oh, he was trying to get her bigger?
Yes.
To feed his fetish?
Yes. And he said he wanted to get her to the point where she needed his help for everything.
That's a little bit weird.
And I'm like...
I don't know if I want to watch that.
He says he bathes her... She's that big. She was probably in the 600, 700 region.
But he somehow to take care of her.
Yes.
She was so what was her anyway?
And she loves it.
I remember what I wanted. We're going to come back to the fetish. But I remember what I wanted to comment on. I wanted to insert that I have a theory about physical mismatches. And maybe that may explain why somebody very skinny may feel like a mismatch for you. And I think this is me being politically correct as a Libra, because I find that I don't date women that are taller than me, and I probably wouldn't date. I don't know. For me, it's just weird when you see like a little short man and a really tall woman, and then. But that's just for me, like looking at it aesthetically. I feel like a basketball player as a man definitely at that height will end up with a shorter woman. But it would be very weird if there was a woman taller than an NBA player, and it would just be odd.
It would be.
To me. Aesthetically. That. Not that it really matters at the core.
It's possibly that. Because as I said, the person...
There are mechanics to it too. But you know,
boy, I just can't explain it. Boy, people get hit me after they hear
I know, right? No friends after this.
Now they can cuss me out.
What do you mean cuss you about?
And say, oh, fat person if I have issue with somebody really slim. But there is... it's a very small group though.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm not saying slim, you know.
Yeah. And you're not saying it's impossible either. You're just saying it may not be your first choice.
No.
Mismatch. Yeah. Back to the fetish now.
Look.
So
there are people who like that.
I believe this. And even though I'm not a perv, I'm sure if you go on the porn channels, there is a category for, I don't know what they call it though.
I mean, you can DM me, I'm single, so.
But Drewpuddy is inviting madness into his DMs.
But I'm like, there are people who love mass. I remember that the guy said that he likes mass.
So he want to get her fat.
Mass. And I was like, wow.
That is interesting. All right. So you've taken me through a gamut of things. Always known yourself as fat. Weren't happy about it as a child, but you've become more comfortable in your university years. So you really sound like you've grown to accept and love yourself as you are.
I mean, you still won't pretend. You still struggle with it. You still struggle with it a bit because people, you know how Jamaican people are. We don't shy away from expressing our opinions and whatever, so people can make you feel awkward.
And there's rarely a day when this doesn't happen, right?
Every day, right? So you still do have moments, especially when you're out.
Yeah.
In a social space where you still kind of feel the insecurities coming back up. You might slip away to the bathroom to just make sure your shirt not snuggling too much and everything good. But I'm just happy that I'm at a place where even if people are trying, I'm not going to go home and cry about it or something. Right. No.
Are there still any restrictions that you put on yourself? Like, would you jump carnival? Are there certain things that you're still not going to do?
I did carnival in a polo and a shorts. So.
Yeah. That was last year?
That was, 20, I don't think it was, probably 2018.
Right. So you did it already, so there.
There are... Yes. So, for instance, I went to Hedo for a week.
Wow, you did a whole week.
A week. It was an interesting year for me. It was a very stressful year. I went through my father. He was killed, and I just needed an escape.
Yeah, my condolences.
I remember they have a nude pool.
They sure do.
And that is something that I cannot.
You couldn't do it?
No.
Did you do it eventually in the week?
No, I did not go over to that side of the hotel at all.
Guys, to break down hedonism, you're going to have to Google it because it's not in the Jamaican press, but it's a hotel and it's in the Negril area. And you just have to look it up. I know that there's a nude side and a prude side.
Yeah.
But Drew wasn't doing the nude side.
No, I can't. I think it's, and it doesn't go back to, it's not me not liking myself, because I will be at home and my sister joke about, I'll be looking in the mirror and be like, yo, I remember, to embarrass myself again, I remember the first time I decided to try shaving my chest. And I was like, yo, this look good enough. My skin nice. And so it's not that I am one of those people who can't look at my body.
Right. And
I will look and I'm like, no, man, my skin really, wow. Like you look extra brown. But
as you can tell, Drew's a comedian, guys.
But it is I don't like the attention.
Right. Because you know that there are people who are going to be watching.
Yes. And so that's just me. And that's just me in life in general.
Yeah.
I am not someone who goes out and seek attention. So that's why I don't think I'll ever be some social media influencer or somebody popular on any platform, because I genuinely don't like.
Do you think you're an introvert naturally?
Naturally, yes.
Or do you think being overweight forced you into introversion?
I think maybe trauma from my childhood,
right.
yes. And now me being an adult, I'm trying to come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, I will go to an event.
Yeah.
And I will speak to strangers. I have no problem with that. Run joke, give trouble, fine.
Yeah.
But that's if I initiate it. If I go somewhere now and you throw me into the center.
When
like
you are not prepared for it, yeah. When you are not prepared for it, you'll climb up.
Yeah.
You shut down.
I'll cut.
Yeah. You're like, I'm gone.
You'll mess with me and I'll be like, I'm home.
in the car.
In the car, I'm leaving.
I'm gone, right?
So yeah, so I know it's not much of a fear of interacting with people and not wanting to be seen, but I just don't like too much attention if I don't start it. Because people will hear me say that. People who know me will hear me say I don't like the attention and be like, really, Andrew? Because I am the person, I keep many town halls at work.
Yes.
I'll be like, come guys. So why are you single? Yeah, so what is so-and-so in your sex life? Would you be in a throuple? And I'll be at the center of these discussions with a group of people.
Andrew, there's a YouTube channel and a podcast waiting right here for you, you know.
But me initiating,
not
fine.
Really.
But you're just throwing me in or just unwarranted, no. It really is too much, no. All
right. Two things I really want to tackle. I want you to describe to me Andrew in the future. And I noticed I never said Andrew smaller or anything. Andrew 5 to 10 years from now, what do you see for yourself?
Dr. Miami, do your belly. Alright, so honestly, I am very open to some cosmetic procedures.
Yeah.
I don't care. But 5 years time I'll probably still be fat. I mean,
you don't know that for sure. You don't know.
Anything
could happen in a year and all 6 months. COVID there.
Not even COVID can kill a fat. Me tell you.
Boy.
So I don't think I'm at the place where I can seriously work on it. Because I think maybe I'm a little bit too comfortable. So I'm not trying hard enough. Because I think
you're not at the place mentally.
Yeah. To just be really, like some people really pushing at it. They're every day to the gym. The diet has changed. And I'll always be the one that joke at work and say, well, everybody after they didn't say fat kill me. At least make it happy.
Yeah, that's where you are now.
That's where I'm at.
Do you feel like that's a true place? Do you feel like that's you?
Or
you know what I mean? Do you feel like that's really how you feel deep down? Like you really want it, or you just
telling myself that to make myself feel comfortable?
What I mean? Is it like a self-sabotage a little bit, or?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say, right?
It's hard to say. Maybe a little bit is. Maybe I do all of this to make myself feel better. So, boosting myself and not trying. But genuinely, I just feel like a lot is going on in my life. Yeah. And my weight is just not really a priority. Right.
So the timing is interesting. Yes. Yeah.
So as I tell you, 2018 was the last time my dad. 2018,
which is very recent.
Right?
Yeah.
2018, my mom got diagnosed with colon cancer. I am still dealing with her. Yeah. And I don't even feel like I've dealt with him. Yeah. Because it was like literally, I can tell you, she went into the hospital a week after the funeral.
That's a lot.
So
the same year.
Same
2018.
Year. I could have lost both of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't know. That is just not.
Well, don't.
Center.
I'm being doctor now. Don't. Well, I know you already know. Mm-hmm. Don't discredit it, because the grieving process is a long one sometimes, and that's a lot to deal with on top of your own stuff.
So
while all is going on, you're still working and being a human and being a friend, and
right. Yeah. And still trying to plan my future, and I still have things that I want to
do.
I want to do. Broke life no fit me, so I have to. I am a very expensive person to maintain. So I'm focusing on that. So I'm focusing on making sure she's good, and I'm focusing on making sure we are good in the future.
No, we can't disregard that.
But one thing I can definitely tell you though, I don't want to gain anymore right now.
Yeah.
Because I know, as I tell you, ultimate goal for me is to lose. I won't lie, as I tell you, for the medical reasons, ultimate goal is to eventually lose. It's just not number one on my list.
Yeah. And the beauty of when you lose, even for the medical reasons, is that there'll be the personal reasons too. I always have a worry about people who lose a lot of weight or have any kind of body transformation. Our trainer used to say that they sometimes go to the dark side. And the dark side is when you get this six pack and this nice body and then all of a sudden your shirt is never on. Or you resent the people that treated you bad. So you become a real asshole. So, it's kind of like these people were mean to me all my life and now I look the way they wanted me to look and now screw you.
But can I tell you that my fear of losing weight is that I won't be attractive?
Interesting.
Which is weird, right?
No,
people
it's not odd in our culture.
People would say that, no, but you're going to be attractive when you lose weight. And I actually fear that. Because I've seen some people, I don't know if it's that they lost it too fast, but the face looks a little drawn. And that's a big fear for me. Because I will tell people, and this is true to me, if it's one thing I can say I do love about Andrew, and it might be narcissistic, but I love my face.
Well, I'll tell you this, Drew, medically, it's a legitimate fear, but as you said, if you don't lose it rapidly, you will look fine.
Yeah, man, it's a big fear for me, and that's probably why I'm open to the medical.
Right.
Because I don't feel like when people who do the medical procedures, it does not.
You don't feel it's as drastic sometimes.
It don't change this.
Yeah.
I just don't because some people, they lose weight and they look sick to me.
Yeah.
They actually look.
Well, some weight loss is unhealthy, so maybe, yeah. All right, well, tell me, as we come, I think we have beat this one a bit. I know, there's so much more we can talk about. Tell me some of the tips, I guess, the things that you would want to share. All right, let's do it two sides. I like it. Things you'd want to share with other persons who are also overweight, who may be struggling. Let's deal with them first. Things that you'd want to say to them.
Oh, so I've discussed this at work. I've discussed this with friends.
Friends who are also overweight?
No, they're all slim, right?
They're all slim.
Why am I surrounding myself with people?
It was a town hall.
One of those town halls. But I'm so stereotypes. We talked about that before, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of fat people who willingly put themselves in some stereotypes. Like, for instance, people will always assume you're a fat guy, you're going to be sloppy. You're going to look, present. I hate seeing it. I hate going out and seeing big guys.
And Drew is not sloppy, folks.
And they don't
put themselves together.
Yes, I hate that.
Right.
They always assume that you're gonna smell or you're just gonna look like you don't care.
Right.
Me can tell you me care.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should care. No matter your size, whether you're fat or you're slim, I think you should really make an effort to present yourself to the world.
Right. So being fat doesn't equate to being sloppy or having poor hygiene.
Right? Don't like it. Make an effort, no matter your size. So I'm big on that. Also, I think no matter your size as well, people just need to care less about what people think. I think going through again, my dad really just brought this home to me. At the end of the day, were you happy with your life?
Right.
Did you do what you want to do? I don't live my life for people. Are people's opinions. So you can say all you want. You can be very negative every time you see me. You can make your jokes. I'll make them back.
Can you know what? Not to be more a bit. We don't know how long and short this thing is gonna be. And you could have fat and you could have skinny and you could have leave here long before you. Could be, so there's no way to use that as a barometer to judge anyone.
No, live for you. And to the skinny people out there who a lot of people assume that, fat, automatically they assume I'm healthier than you.
Yeah, not always the case.
You're not a medical professional, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
I don't have diabetes. When you see me, I don't have
hypertension.
I tell you, I have a doctor, I'll give you his number.
Right.
I'll tell him this person's gonna call. He'll tell you I don't have hypertension, diabetes.
From the doctor's mouth.
What else?
You have high cholesterol?
Don't have high cholesterol. Right. What is the other one?
What else we have?
I don't have any of those. I have asthma.
Right.
And I came out a blue baby, so that's been from birth.
From
I wasn't
long time breathing. You have it. Yeah.
I just found out of osteoarthritis, and I heard that wasn't by gaining weight.
Yeah.
Guys, so just leave it to the health professionals.
Right. I don't try to fix people on the streets, tell them what to eat, how to lift the weights, unless they ask you. Unsolicited advice is actually very impolite sometimes.
Right?
Most times.
Yeah. So that's my message to big people. Just at the end of the day, make sure you're happy with you. Make sure you look in the mirror, you are happy with what you see, and don't base your happiness off of what society tells you should look like.
Yeah.
No. Or you'll never be happy, even if you lose the weight. Because I swear, I think if I lose the weight, I'm still going to identify as fat.
You me? You actually me. You're still me. And not that you'll identify as physically fat in the numbers and the pounds, but I think in your personality and your temperament, whatever you were, you will still be that person in your head.
I might just feel like I don't belong.
Maybe.
It's like bleaching. I can bleach and look white, but I just still won't feel
mind,
like
right,
I belong.
You're not white, right? In your mind, you're still a black person.
I'm still black.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the reverse is true. I've noticed of people who are skinny who become muscular too. I think when you become muscular, you're still a skinny guy in your head. So whatever insecurities you had, they still exist inside of this body that's now the opposite of what you were. Wow. Well, Drew, I thank you. And I thank you for many reasons. You know, as always, I thank my guests for being brave enough to come and talk truth. And at a time when I was hearing that I've been having a lot of female guests, I'm really glad to have a male sit across from me and speak his truth, you know, because these are real issues. And do you want people to be able to find you? You plug in yourself?
I tell you, my DMs are open.
Drew's DMs are open. Drew, tell them where they can find you.
So I'm on Twitter, Drew. So it's DREWPUDDY.
Yeah.
On Instagram, it's andrew.h.brown. And that's me.
Drewpuddy on Twitter and andrew.h.brown on IG. And if anybody message him with any hate, tell me about it. Me come for them.
They're welcome to.
No, them not gonna send a hate to you. I'm sure that you will get messages of support and actually messages of people who are happy that you shared. That's generally how it is.
Really? Wow.
Well, usually. Andrew, thanks for talking the truth, my brethren, and
thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You just listened to episode number 30 of Talk Truth with me, your boy Mario Evon, and I know I sound hoarse, but it's been a long week, can I tell you? I thank Drewpuddy Brown for again being brave enough to come on the episode and speak about his journey with Fatphobia. And for me, one of the greatest lessons is that there are a lot of people going through a lot of things and we all have a story. And Talk Truth for me really initially was to create a platform for candid conversations from a Jamaican perspective about these stories. And this is exactly what I had envisioned for it. And it has flourished and grown into a community of people who listen not just to learn but to be inspired and to have a new perspective on the life of others. And at this time when we're having this COVID-19 virus scare and the actual COVID-19 disease, I really encourage you all to be sensitive. And the spread of the virus has really shown us how insensitive and cruel and cold and selfish we can be as humans. Every man and woman for themselves, for the toilet paper, for the Lysol, for lock down the airport. All who no want touch who, all want send picture who about the place for sure. This was who was here. It is a ugly reality of humanity and just how selfish we can be, because we would rather survive than help another man. And we would rather protect something that is ours than help somebody else. And with that attitude of selfishness comes a lot of other ugly things. So for me, it's been interesting to look at from the outside, even as a medical practitioner. So be sensitive, be kind, but follow all the protocols and guidelines. Stay away from large crowds. Keep your hands clean. And don't put them in your eyes, your nose, your mouth, in your face. And a lot of people recover from it, so don't panic either. We try to protect those who are at greater risk. So my Talk Truthers, you were just listening to Talk Truth. This is hashtag TT, little WMETT with me. TTWME. And also, you know what to do: like, rate, review, subscribe on iTunes, and leave a review. And please screenshot anything from the episode, screenshot the episode and repost on your social media. Tag me on Instagram at talk.truthja, and of course at Mario Evon on Instagram. Please follow me on social media actually, because that's where you get the information. I hardly remind people, but on the talktruthja.com website, there is a mailing list sign up. Whoa, what's going on today? And I'm not editing it. If you are someone who likes to receive emails, that's how you can join the mailing list. I really haven't been sending emails for Talk Truth yet, but I will at some point have infrequent updates about episodes and other cool developments as we grow as a family. So, tell someone about Talk Truth. Let them listen to it. Share an episode that you think might touch them. Blessed love, my family. Really and truly loving her all the time. Talk truth to the world. And again, keep safe. Until next time, guys. Blessed love.